Hello, everyone, and welcome to another scene for Sept of the Howling Winds, a werewolf the apocalypse venue set in San Diego, California. So, this scene we have Punches all the faces. He is the Warder of the Sept, but he is also the father of a couple of kinfolk, and he has some sad news to deliver to his children and whoever they wish to bring with them, which he knows Annika will bring Kate. So he calls them to come to the Sept, and him he's not gonna have them meet him at the big house. He's actually gonna have him meet them by the lake, um, in one of his favorite spots, which is underneath like this big tree overlooking the water. It's nice and calm and peaceful and serene. And I'll go ahead and just put everybody's overlays up, including Kate's, because I have 4 slots.
My question is, just for clarifying, out of game.
Mhm.
His favorite spot, is it the same favorite or is it different?
Is it the same what?
Favorite spot as Lefty.
No, it's different.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, Kate will uh show up with Annika after packing a baby bag
Okay,
and taking the child with them.
fantastic. Okay, there's Nick. Okay, so I have the overlay for the PC Kate up so that everyone can see what she looks like. Because Kate's player cannot use overlays at this moment, so that's where we are. So yes, they all meet at the lake, and Nick does not have a baby in tow. He left his child with a seer, which in time, right now, he will see that that was probably going to be for the best in a few minutes. So, Punches is in Hamid, um, and he will greet them all. Uh, which he is much much taller than all three of them. Even his son, who is 6'4", he is still a whole foot taller than him. But he has a somber expression on his face. And Annika kind of looks at him quizzically, like, "What is wrong?" And
Sorry.
yeah, go
Uh,
ahead.
when Kate greets him, it's um it's with the usual, head bowed, neck extended, that sort of a thing.
Yeah, he'll actually reach out and tap her shoulder and be like, "That's really not necessary right now."
She looks up at him, all the way up at him, and
Right.
um so, and she just basically looks him dead in the eyes and she said, "Those who earn respect should always be shown it."
He'll smile softly at that. He'll nod. Thank you.
She just smiles softly at him and walks back. Uh she smiles at Nick and motions to the covered baby, what is it?
Carrier.
Yeah, covered baby carrier.
Yeah, he lights up because and he knew that they had this baby, but he hasn't seen it yet. So, before he like kind of holds a finger up to his dad, like before I can tell, but bless Nick, he says, I can tell by the look on your face that I'm not going to like whatever it is you're going to tell us. So give me a moment to love on this baby before you do that. And Punches is just like kind of throws his hands up, like by all means, whatever. Um, and he and Annika just shakes her head and chuckles, like, "Oh, my brother."
And Kate will set it down just gently and very gently roll back the little blue cover blanket that they had.
Yeah, he crouches down and looks at the baby, and he's like, "Oh, wow, his hair is white.
Kate smiles.
That's wow." And he just smiles, and he's just kind of like, cooing over the baby, and he's not gonna pick him up because he's sleeping or whatever. He doesn't want to disturb him, but
Right.
he spends a few minutes just looking at him.
Kate leans over and takes Annika's hand, and she'll
Donica
kiss
takes.
her gently, like just on the cheek or the side of the face. And
Donica smiles and blushes.
she'll sort of nudge her and say, "You should tell him what we named him."
Mm. So, yeah, she looks at her brother and she's like, she says, "Do you want to know his name?" And he nods. He says, "Yeah, we named him James Thorin Alex Steele." And he smiles and he nods and he says, "It's a very good name." And Punches will smile again, hearing the name again. And he'll hug Annika and Kate. He'll like pull them both in for a hug at the same time.
He hugs him tightly. She hugs them both close.
And Punches will come over and wrap his arms around all three of them because he can. Um, and then he'll say, "Okay, all right, please sit." And
Uh, Kate will kneel down and roll the blanket back over and sort of set the baby gently to the side.
Nick will sit where he can see the baby, which means Annika's gonna sit right next to him because she's gonna sit where she can see the baby.
I think all three of them are gonna sit where they can see the baby.
So that means Punches is gonna sit
Kate
across
is
from
gonna
them.
yeah, Kate is gonna sit in between Annika and Nick so
Nice.
that he can like be there for them both.
Sandwiched in the middle. I like it. So, um, yeah, so Punches will sit across from the three of them. And he's like kind of looking at them, the little ducks in a row. He takes a deep breath and he says, "Okay, I have news. It is you remember who your sister Emma married, right?" And they're both like, duh. How could we forget?" um, well, Adelaide has come back, but Emma is not with him. Emma the sept where they were living was attacked, and she got caught in the crossfire and she didn't make it along with her and Adelaide's unborn child. And Punches like kind of lets that hang there for a moment to let everybody process that information. Both Annika and Nick are kind of like blinking in shock, like, what? And Nick pipes up and he says, "So you're telling me let me see if I understand you correctly. You're telling me that my sister, Emma, is dead." And Punches nods. And instant tears fill Nick's eyes. That was his first baby sister. And Annika being the youngest, of course she's upset, but it doesn't hit her quite like it does Nick. She always felt like she had to compete with Emma. But she just kind of grabs onto Kate.
Kate squeezes Annika's hand and just sort of nods at her as she wraps her arms around Nick.
Yeah, Nick is just in tears. He's, yeah. Annika, she squeezes back and she tears up. And only because she's imagining how it would be if something had happened to Kate and their baby. And that's not even something that she wants to try and fathom. So she can't even imagine what Adelaide's going through right now. And she'll look to Punches and she'll say, "How is Adelaide doing?" And he'll 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 look to her and he'll say, "He's holding up okay. He's doesn't seem to be in Hirano, which is good. However, he is very much throwing himself into work, I guess you could say, like his duties, and not really thinking about much else." She'll nod. I will I will try and speak with him soon. I'll give him some time, but I would like to talk to him soon.
Kate um just sort of sits there holding Nick wordlessly. Um one of her hands is, going in slow circles on his back. And she wants to be physically there for him, but she doesn't think
Yeah.
anything she could say help at all.
Right. I mean, what honestly, what can you say in a situation like this? There's really not much you can do or say. So,
Exactly.
so Nick will cry for a little bit, and then he'll regain his composure, and he'll take deep breaths. Okay. I'm guessing that because of the nature of what happened, either she got a very hasty burial or her body couldn't be recovered, or and Punches will say she got a burial, but it was fast. Maybe we can go back for her body after tensions have died down. Nick will nod. Okay.
Kate grabs Annika's hand again and just sort of squeezes it reassuringly.
Yeah, she'll squeeze back and she'll lean her head on Kate's shoulder. Like, she does have some tears, but she's not reacting the way Nick is. Maybe it'll hit her later, maybe not, who knows.
She takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly. And she says, Adelheid and I were close once. Not close, but do you know if he needs time or if approaching him would be all right?
Punches will look to her and say, I think you would be able to speak to him.
She nods.
He's been going around meeting people and things, so I think that you'd be okay. I'm sure he'd like to see you.
She nods. I'd like to see him.
And then he'll look to Kate and he'll say, I wish that that was all I had to say, but it is not. There's more news. This is more for you. Nick, of course, is already aware.
Kate frowns and looks at Nick, just trying to like judge his expression. What do I need to roll for that?
Oh no, he's kind of an open book right now.
Oh, fair.
He gets like this kind of, it's not really a panicked expression, but definitely a worried one. Um, and Nick will actually look to Kate and he'll say, Jesse hasn't been home since Thursday night, and nobody can reach him. Um, he's not even answering his pack link with Asir and Johan. But Johan seems to think that if something was wrong, Coyote would let them know. So maybe he's just taking a sabbatical, but he didn't really tell anybody if that. But we know Jesse. He'll just kind of frown and shake his head. He does what he wants.
That makes me a little worried. I mean,
No, I'm a lot worried. I am a lot worried that my husband hasn't been home in 3 days.
did something happen?
Punches will clear his throat.
She looks from Punches to Nick and back.
Nick kind of looks down, and Punches will look to Kate and say, I don't know if you really know who this person was. I don't know if you actually ever met him or her when he was Caroline. Um, you would have if you met them, you would have first met him as Caroline Blanc, a child of Gaia Theurge.
I believe I may have heard their howl, but I don't think I ever met them.
Well, they transitioned from female to male. They're a lot like you. Couldn't remember who they were in the past prior to their first change. They couldn't remember anything.
I believe I met them once.
I'll nod. So he transitioned and became Theo. And Theo ended up in a relationship with Jesse. More with Jesse's female half, Jessica.
I remember him claiming her as his mate, correct?
He nods. Yes.
Okay.
He has a twin brother named Reese. And Reese is a changeling, a fae. Both of them decided while Dazzles was exiled that they were going to go and kill her.
You
But she
can
didn't.
you can see Kate's face just sort of freeze as she listens to this.
If Kate will remember, Dazzles had mentioned that she was worried they were going to come after her.
Yeah, she will.
So, and he'll say, I won't sugarcoat anything with you. They were extremely brutal. She was restrained, tortured, skinned, kept alive, and then left for dead.
Kate is still silent, but her breathing has picked up.
So Annika was there for part of the conversation that Dazzles had with Kate. So she like grips Kate's hand very tightly. And Nick looks absolutely shocked. He didn't know that this happened. Like he knew something was going on, but he had no idea that this is what happened. And he like looks visibly sick to his stomach.
Kate is just deathly pale, and I might need to roll willpower. I'm not sure yet. Is he done talking?
Yeah, what you'll need to do is you'll need to take a rage and you'll need to roll your rage.
Oh, yes, I will definitely need.
And it is a it a half moon? If it's a half moon, your diff is 5. The current moon phase.
Oh, sorry. I meant that to be +1.
Today's moon phase is it is a waning crescent, so the diff is 7.
Hold on a second. What's my auspice moon?
It's a half. You're a Philodox, so your auspice moon is half moon, and it is a crescent moon, so you don't have any penalties. The diff is 7. The frenzy during a.
Okay. The difficulty is 7, and I roll my rate, right?
Yeah. So your rage is. Yeah, your rage is your rage 4? Your rage should be 3.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you are rage 4. Okay, so yes, your rage is 5. Roll 5 dice.
And the difficulty is 7.
Yes. Okay. You don't frenzy. You're angry.
All right. So Kate is not happy, but her restraint is probably showing in her voice when
Mm-hmm.
she asks Raya, is she okay?
She's alive.
Do you know where she is?
She's at her house. She was permitted back on Sept with full apologies of what over what happened to her by the High King himself. I'll tell you though, she's in Hirano.
Kate will nod.
She's afraid to leave the Sept because Theo and Reese and the person who had become Alpha, Emil, who is Theo's uncle, all three of them have been exiled from the Sept. So they're not allowed to be on Sept. So the Sept is the only place she feels safe. And even then, she looks over her shoulder. And Jessie conveniently left the day she came back. So I don't know if that's related or a coincidence. And he grinds his teeth, and Kate can tell that it pains Punches to even remotely make this accusation against Jessie. Like even Nick is even like he can't deny that that's a bit suspicious, and that's his husband that he loves deeply.
Kate Kate shakes her head. I Even if Jessie wasn't happy with Dazzles, there's no way he would go that far. Maybe maybe he was unhappy that she's back. Maybe it's just a little awkward. Maybe he needs some time.
Yeah, Nick shakes his head and he's like, "No, Jessie would never condone or help in anything like that, and he wouldn't hurt her that way. That's he's hurt her, yes, but he wouldn't do that. That's
He wouldn't do that.
no, he wouldn't do that. But I don't know. Maybe part of him knew that something bad happened to her and he didn't want to make that worse or whatever and decided to remove himself. I just wish he would have talked to me about it.
I wish he would have talked to me about a lot of things.
Nick will give her a look that's like, touche, and nod.
Let's just give him some space and some time. And if he hasn't. And she clears her throat and remembers her place. And she looks up at Punches and she says, Raya, if it's all right with you, if Jesse's not back in a week or so, can I take my pack if they're willing to come with and hunt for him?
Yes, of course.
She nods. And she squeezes Nick's hand and Annika's.
They both squeeze her hand back. And Punches will say, remember that I am in a pack with Dazzles. She is my pack alpha. And I felt something, just a lot of pain come through the link when this was happening. And I didn't know what was happening. And I found her after the fact. I saw her in that state. In it was not pretty at all. And I informed my other packmate, the Truth Catcher, immediately of her state and what happened. And as soon as she was able to speak, it was a few days. Because even with being able to regenerate, it's still a painful and slow process to regrow all of your skin. We kept her in the clinic that writes the rules, controls with his kinfolk. And there we kept her safe until she was strong enough to tell us exactly what happened. And then he didn't hesitate to take any action. And he launched a fair investigation, but it was pretty cut and dry.
Kate nodded, and even though she tried to swallow back tears, they just started streaming down her face.
Yeah, Punches is crying too because I'm sure Kate's trying to imagine if that something like that had happened to one of her pack mates, how she would feel feeling that through the pack link. Like
That is on her mind. However, it's secondary to my mom just went through this. They did this to my mom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
So Kate's mind may not be in the best place right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Sierra has yesterday she did a couple of things to help her. She hadn't been sleeping. But if you want to go see her, I'm sure that she would be overjoyed to see you.
Kate will nod, and she looks to Annika and sort of leans down and whispers in her ear that uh, if it would be okay if Kate left the baby with her.
Oh, yeah. Annika was already like, yeah, go. I've got
And,
James. It's fine.
and then in almost as a quick afterthought, she asks Annika to send live video of the baby to Kate's phone, just like 15 seconds or whatever, just send it to her.
Yeah, and she will.
He whispers that she loves her.
Says, I love you too.
And she'll
Go check.
hug Nick and apologize, but and promise that they'll catch up soon as she
Nick
leaves.
Nick nods, and yeah, like they all understand that she's gonna go check on her mom.
Yeah. Yeah, she actually she'll transform
Okay.
into Lupus, and just so she can run faster.
Mhm.
She'll shift to Hamid before or when she gets there. She just wanted to get there fast.
So when she gets there, um, I'll show you who she's greeted by at the door. I don't know if Kate ever met Sebastian.
I don't believe is who Sebastian.
Sebastian was Dazzle's mate after Camden was basically kicked out the first time.
Or, nope.
Yeah. Um, it was Dazzle's Seeker and Sebastian were in a triad.
Right.
Um, but yeah. So and he never actually moved out of the house. He just moved rooms. Um, so he'll greet Kate and like he knows who she is, but hadn't met her yet. Hadn't met her before.
Right. I don't think Kate really knows who he is, at least not in the grand scheme of things.
Mm. So yeah, this strange person just opened the door of your mom's house.
Right. She'll sort of frown, but nod her head and ask, is Dazzles here?
He nods. Yeah, she is. Um, sorry.
Is she awake? I don't want to bother her.
She's actually out in the garden.
At that, Kate will smile, remembering the first time that she ever got mad at Dazzles, and remembering that she found her in the garden afterwards.
I remember that too.
uh, she nods her head. She says, "May I come in?" And she sort of gives him this look like, I don't really feel like I should be asking you if I can come into my mom's house, but
Right.
whatever.
And he kind of like he squints for a moment, and he's not trying to be a dick, but he's a Shadow Lord. Come on.
No,
Um,
totally.
And he's like, okay, but I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are, but you're inside my mom's house.
Oh, you're Kate. And he'll step aside.
She frowns and she says, Um, I'm I'm sorry.
It's okay. I've just been really cautious about who sees her.
No, I understand the need for caution. Are you the door guard or are you
I'm a very good friend. Um, I'm Sebastian Cienfuegos. Questions the stars. I am a Ragabash of the Shadow Lords, an Athro of the nation.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's
Uh,
it's quite okay.
I'd introduce myself, but clearly I don't need to.
I
She sort of
know.
just gives him like this half embarrassed, like half distracted smile.
He rests a hand on her shoulder and gives it a light squeeze. Okay, I know who you are. You have no idea how much she talks about you.
She'll nod and just sort of like make way, like beeline it for the garden. Like, all right, random mysterious fucker. I'll deal with you later. Bye.
So yeah, she's in the garden and she's not really doing much. She's just kind of wrapped in a blanket because it's early evening. The sun hasn't quite gone down yet. Um, but she's wrapped in a blanket with a cup of tea, just kind of staring at really nothing, just sitting there. And she
Kate will,
hasn't noticed Kate yet.
yeah, Kate will think for a moment, and before she really sets foot out into the garden, uh, before she gets within earshot, she'll transform into Lupus again. And she'll pad her way out there and then just sort of gently brush her nose against maybe the back of her elbow to let her know that she's there.
She'll startle and she'll look and she'll kind of squint because Kate and Seeker look very similar in lupus form. Um, so she doesn't it doesn't register right away who it is. She thinks it's Seeker.
Uh, Kate will just sort of sit at her feet and gently put her muzzle uh in Dazzle's lap and just look at her with her like golden honey eyes.
When she looks at her eyes, it then registers who it is. And she immediately tears up. And she says, Kate.
I know that wolf speech isn't as developed as human speech, but I'm pretty sure Kate's next word barely needs translation as she says, Mom.
I'm sorry. I didn't I didn't
No, no apology needed. Apology needed to you. She just sort of lays her head across Dazzle's lap. I mean, it's a wolf head, so it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And she's just there for her to be this furry, familial scented thing that she can hold on to.
Yeah, she hangs on to her and she sobs for a good minute or so, like just hard sobbing because she just feels so bad.
And Kate will let her cry and cry and cry, and she'll just say, "Love you."
I love you too. Um, it happened that night when I came to see you and you asked me to come live with you.
She nods.
Sorry I didn't contact you.
It's okay. No apology.
I don't even know what to do right now. So,
For the theme of the night, Kate will shift again, and she'll shift back to Hamid.
mm,
Just wrap her arms around her mom gently, very
yeah,
gently.
her new skin is still very
Yeah.
sensitive, but she'll hug her.
I am so sorry that anyone laid a hand on you like that.
It's not your fault.
No, it's not. It's not yours.
I'm trying to believe that. I am.
Kate takes both of Dazzle's hand inside of both of hers, and she looked at her and she said, "It is not your fault. You did not deserve this. No one ever deserves that."
She'll nod. That's what everybody else says too.
If that happened to someone else, it would be what you said too.
She'll nod. You're right. It would be.
And Kate sniffles, and it's clear that she's been crying. Are you okay? I mean, I know it's such a stupid question to ask. Why do we always ask these questions?
It's okay. I know what you mean. So, yesterday, yesterday I got out of bed, and today I got outside. So I'm baby steps, right?
Kate will nod.
Um, have you heard from Jesse?
She shakes her head. Um, I don't know what he needs, but If it's time and space, I'm willing to give him a week to 2 weeks.
Oh God. It's just
And then I and my pack are going to go hunt for him. Because I need to know he's okay. And that's assuming he hasn't responded yet.
she'll nod. Um, I mean, I know that I left him.
Kate shakes her head and she says, and he hurt you. It's love. Everyone hurts each other when it doesn't work out.
I don't know if he knows how much I love him.
And
Understand.
I don't know if he knows how angry I am at him. And he's here. And I doubt he'll ever know.
Probably not.
I don't know if he even knows how much it hurt me when he left the pack.
Probably not.
But I I actually brought you something, sort of.
Oh.
And it's at this moment that Kate takes her phone out to check to see if the video was sent.
Yes, it was.
I'm, I'm certain there may be even more than one because I'm certain that Annika is as in love with the baby as Kate is.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's a short little video of him sleeping and then he actually woke up, so she like got a video of him awake and kind of moving around too. So there's two of them.
Maybe I'm sure that like half of them have Nick in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kate will pull out her phone and pull up the video. I had Annika send me some video.
Wow. Like it's not like the smile that she smiles is a very haunted smile, but it's a smile nonetheless. Um, she actually starts crying when she sees the baby. I hadn't told you yet, but I was pregnant.
What did she say?
She said that she was pregnant.
Kate smiles.
I was pregnant.
A smile disappears.
What happened to me caused me to lose the baby. Which is hard for me to look at babies right now. I'm sorry.
Why?
Bailey's tried with Veron.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault you didn't know. It's just I haven't asked to see Autumn. I haven't asked for any. I just can't right now.
Yeah, Kate has put her phone away rather stealthily. She just wraps Dazzles in her arms.
Then she just sobs again. It's just this painful sob.
Kate's quiet for a long time. Just sitting there holding her.
So she cries for quite a little while, and then the sobs will get less, and she'll quiet. The tears still flow. Um, I'm not sure when I'll be okay.
Would it help at all if I stayed here tonight?
She nods. If you want to, I wouldn't be against it.
Kate will nod and quickly text Annika
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that it would be okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Just with the baby and all shared responsibilities, she wants to make sure that.
Yeah, and Annika's on spring break, so she's fine.
Okay.
Um, just like, yeah, take all the time you need, and if I need help, I have Nick. As a matter of fact, she'll probably just stay on Sept at the big house.
Yeah. Kate will text back that should she and Nick should spend some time together.
Yeah, they're going to. So, no worries at all.
Okay. She will look back at Dazzles and say, um, I can if it's okay with you. I'd love to.
She nods. Yeah. And you never got to meet Sebastian when I was with him. But he's been really good. I came back. He's always been good to me. Even after I left him. I was stupid for leaving.
Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone.
knots.
Some of those mistakes are really big.
You know the worst part?
Kate will just look at her, tears streaming down her eyes, and her cheeks a little bit.
Theo and Reese, they both knew that I was pregnant, and they still did that.
Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna have another rage roll, and I'm gonna take another rage. So this will be fun. Yeah. I now have a 6 rage. Wee. Okay. And what is the difficulty for this?
7.
People must be wondering what the fuck is going on because Kate just made 2 rage rolls.
Right.
Like, oh shit, I need to open the pack link. Or could you type into the pack link that they feel like overwhelming rage from Kate right now?
Yeah, so,
Wait, so my rage is 4. It was a 5, so now it's a
6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh shit.
Oh, wow, she.
So she is having a really hard time controlling her anger, and it is apparent that she is quite angry. She's managed to force herself to not storm out in a rage hunting these people down,
Mm-hmm.
but barely.
Yeah, I know Dazzles can tell that that made her angry, as it's made literally everybody that she's told about it angry. Um, so it's not even something, and she's in such a deep depression that it doesn't really phase her anyway. Like it's just, yeah. Um,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that real quick?
oh, I was just saying that she's used to people, uh,
Reacting
she's,
angrily.
yeah, because literally everybody that she's told about it that cares about her has reacted this way. So, like, like it's a good thing her pack mates are such high rank, or they probably would have frenzied. Like,
Right. It, it's a testament to Kate that she hasn't yet.
I know, right? Fuck.
Um, she sort of swallows down this rage, uh, which she can, which she's having trouble containing. And she tries to just focus on her mom. This isn't about her or how angry she is. This is about Dazzles. And so she just tries to refocus and regroup. Um, uh, and so she does the next best thing. She will pull up an Amazon shopping list. Not necessarily list, but she'll pull up Amazon and she'll keep it up and open so that Dazzles can see.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Okay, I'm going to need your help because I need to know which one you like most." And she pulls up pictures of hold on. Let me get you a link. Air plants though. So uh she pulls up that.
Okay. So when she looks at it, she'll give a little bit of a smile. Um,
She
she'll
basically just pulls up a bunch of them.
yeah.
Um and she has Dazzles pick out her favorite and she orders it and has it sent to Dazzle's house. And she smiles, or just trying to put all of this anger behind her, just trying really hard. Um, and she says, "I don't want you to have to go outside to be able to enjoy plants. I want you to know that if you don't feel like going outside, it's okay. And that I still love you. And that requires little to zero care."
She smiles and she tears up again. Like this time is just more touched than anything. Like
I just want you to know that I love you enough to bring the plants to you for the days when you don't feel like you can get out of bed. And Kate's crying now too.
yeah, she puts her arms around her and uh and hugs her and just holds her.
She hugs her and holds her back. I love you so much, Mom.
Love you too. So much. I'm guessing that Punches is the one that he said that
Um,
he was going.
I'm sorry. You
Oh,
you stopped after Punches.
oh, she said, I'm guessing Punches is the one that told you about what happened.
She nods, and her face went even more grave. Not just that.
She blinks.
Nick and Annika lost a member of their family.
She nods. Emma,
She nods.
I
Yeah.
remember.
She just sort of sniffles and rubs her nose on the back of her hand like a child almost.
So sorry for their loss.
I'm sorry for yours.
Thank you. Everybody has been very supportive, which I'm glad for. Like, I let myself get wrapped up in something, and she shakes her head.
Kate shakes her own head and she says, "You don't have to explain anything to me. Ever."
She'll nod.
You don't owe anyone an explanation. At least, not me.
She'll nod.
I'm just. I'm really glad you're home. I'm glad that you're. I'm glad that you're okay.
She nods.
I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you. Or Jesse. She adds, getting a look of worry across her features.
She nods. I hope wherever he is, he's okay.
I hope wherever he is that he knows that if he doesn't say a word, his daughter will come banging the door down.
She gives a little bit of a smile at that.
And I don't care how undressed he is.
She actually a soft chuckle at that.
And you better believe that happened more than a couple times in that house.
Pretty sure that there was one time I was even involved.
Um, yes, yes, there was. There are some things that I don't remember, but that is not one of
She cried.
them. Kate will smirk a little and she'll say, at least I had the Google website to help me.
That is true. The Google was your savior.
No, you were. But it did teach me a lot of things about the Urban Dictionary that I didn't even know before. I forgot it.
Okay, the Urban Dictionary is some kind of rabbit hole that even those of us that know things don't want to go down.
That's it. But you know what happens in that house after nightfall.
Yes, I do.
I swear the sun starts towards the horizon and Jesse starts either drinking or getting into trouble or smoking.
She nods at that.
I love you so much. I never would have made it without you.
You were my last cub that I got to clear, and I was so proud of you. Because it wasn't just my cub getting to clear, it was my daughter.
Kate smiled.
Oh, thinking, oh, if I get better, that I'd probably want to be den mother again.
Kate nods and she looks at Dazzles very, very seriously and she says, it's not an if. It's never a question of if. It's always when. Don't rush yourself, but take the time you need. It's okay to be not okay, but you will be okay. And we'll both get through this.
She nods. Okay.
Kate hastily wipes away another tear before it can fall.
Dazzles doesn't even care. Her face is fucking covered.
Well, yeah. I mean,
um,
Kate's, but
so one thing that Kate will notice is at some point the blanket did fall away and she's wearing a tank top. She'll notice light scarring over all of her skin. Like,
yeah.
and she'll also notice if she looks, usually she would have the branches and leaves of a tree poking up on the backs of her shoulders and up the back of her neck, but Kate will notice that that tattoo is no longer there. Remember the big tree of life tattoo she had covering her back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not there anymore.
Kate will file this information away for a later time. I'm just trying to give Dazzles time before she suggests what she wants to do.
Okay.
Which will be eventually getting either matching or sister tattoos in the place of that. Maybe even like matching trees of life or something. Something like that. Something that means life and growth, but maybe not necessarily a tree of life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe phoenix tattoos. Not sure. She's not sure. But she'll know that she knows that it'll be she knows that she will know what it is when the time comes. So for now she just files that away.
Alrighty.
And she says, it sort of clears her throat. She says, so,
Mm.
sorry. It almost looks like Kate is for a split second listening to something that isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
And she takes a deep breath and she says, so if if we're doing a late girls night because I heard through the grapevine that you've been having trouble sleeping, and it makes complete and total sense.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna have ourselves a late girls night, and if you've been having trouble sleeping, and I'm certain that there's pain, we could smoke some pot together.
You know, that actually sounds like a fantastic idea.
We could put something stupid and ridiculous on the television and something we can only enjoy while we're high, like The Office.
She'll grin and she'll nod. Okay.
Or maybe just old episodes of Friends.
Oh, I would love that actually.
She smiles. Definitely. I have a feeling that Phoebes will make so much more sense. Somehow. I just have this inkling.
She does. She absolutely does. She makes so much more sense when you're blitzed out of your skull.
Well, you will be the second parent out of 3 to see me inebriated and the only parent to see me high.
She'll smile. Well, then I feel special.
You should, because you are. You're special to me. So let's break out the Skywalker OG
Okay.
and enjoy the fact that we're in California where smoking things like this is legal.
Absolutely legal. Not that that ever stopped me before, but hey.
That may or may not have been an out of character comment to anyone who's not part of this venue watching.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe a little disclaimer for the FBI, because they're Big Brother and they're listening.
Anybody with Google will know that it's legal in California.
Right. The character. And Kate will just sort of smile and say, maybe I should. And see if your very handsome friend can procure us some. Because we're not leaving the house tonight.
I'm sure that he can accommodate. You should go ask him.
I think we should go ask him.
Okay.
I think it might come a little bit weird from someone who he doesn't know. If that's the first thing that I ask him to do.
Honey, he's a Shadow Lord, and he has had way weirder first requests than that.
It doesn't mean that I want that to be his first impression of me.
Okay, that's fair.
Hi, I'm Kate. By the way, can I have some weed now?
So they'll go inside, and Sebastian he's sitting on the couch in the living room. He's not watching TV, he's just kind of sitting there. When they come in, he lights up a little bit when he sees Dazzles.
And Kate will nod at him, seemingly knowingly. It's a lot more knowingly than it was the first time.
Right? Like, just seeing that her demeanor is a little different, and it gives him some hope. And she walks over to him, and his eyebrows go up a little bit. And she says, Sebastian? And he looks up at her and says, Yes, Lissa. I was wondering if you would be able to get some really good shit for me and Kate to smoke. You can partake too, but. And he nods. He's like, Well, yeah, of course I can. That's really not a question. I actually have some. And she'll smile. Excellent.
Kate will nod and smile. Yes, perhaps we should actually introduce ourselves. I should introduce myself formally. I'm Kate. Hi. Sebastian.
he just he
She
grins,
blushes.
shakes his head. And he actually motions for Kate to follow him as he stands up. He stands up and Dazzles just plants herself on the couch like this is my spot for the rest of the night.
She looks at Dazzles and she says, "How about you queue up S1 Ep1?"
She nods.
And I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Whichever season will work, really. Whichever season you like. You pick your favorite season, and I'll be right back.
She nods, and yeah. Um, Sebastian pulls Kate off. He goes into his room to get the stuff, but as soon as they're in his room, he'll look at her with a much the same look on his overlay.
She will raise an eyebrow in a very Kate way, tilt her head, much like a wolf does.
Mm-hmm.
And yes,
Your packmate, Sierra, she came to see me yesterday. If you want revenge on those things for what they did to her, you should talk to Sierra. I gave her something to help with that. And he'll smile this unnerving smile. Smile that really only a Shadow Lord can smile.
Kate's facade just drops, and he can see the anger and like everything there, and she's just all of a sudden all business, and she just nods very curtly and she says, "I believe I'm speaking with them now."
Good. Good.
There was
Mm.
a moment. I haven't quite learned to keep extreme emotions from my packmates yet.
That's why I run alone. No one to get in my head.
She smiles. I like it. I never have to feel alone.
He nods. Some people need that.
Well, it used to be my dad's pack too, so
He'll nod. Mhm. So he gets the stuff, which as soon as he takes it out of the box it's in, you can smell it through the bag.
she smiles and she says, "Oh, that will do nicely." Um, does she have any cocoa?
Oh yeah. Here, why don't you take this and this, and hands her the stuff, the pipe, the lighter, and go get
Right.
started. And I'll make cocoa and other snacks, and we'll all three have fun
She
and
nods.
watch Friends. Is that what you said you're watching?
She nods. Yeah, having a high friends night. I've never smoked pot before.
Well, you're not leaving the house. It's a good thing that my son is at his mother's this week. You can sleep in his room, or you can sleep with Dazzles.
I I was kind of hoping to sleep next to her.
He'll nod, of course. There's been
She
kind of
just
a.
sort of looks at the ground and she tries to get a hold of her emotions, but he can see tears falling again, and she says,
He puts a hand on her shoulder.
I can't believe how close I came to losing her.
Yeah, so she'll see some emotion come across his face at that as well. Yeah, I know. Uh, yeah.
So,
I I actually had thought that she was dead because her air quote killer had come to me and said that he had killed her. And I nearly the only reason I did not beat him to death was because my sister is his packmate, or was his packmate. It was the only thing that saved him. But now I leave him to your pack.
she nods.
You can. One thing that you can always guarantee for me that I will always be there for her, no matter what we are, whether we're friends or not, whether we're together or not. I will always be there for her.
She nods. And I will always be there for her. As long as I am physically able. There's nothing that would stop me. She saved me when people weren't sure if I was tainted or a spy or she saved me.
He'll
So
nod.
whatever you are to her, you better be a good one.
He
Because she
nods.
deserves it.
He nods.
She composes herself, wipes away her tears, just gives him this like curt nod. It was really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, and hopefully we'll get to know each other more.
She nods. Yep. And she holds up the bag. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the pot.
He chuckles and he'll nod and then he'll go to the kitchen and start preparing the cocoa and snacks and things like that.
And she turns around, goes to the living room, and she hands with very stiff arms a pipe in one hand, pipe and lighter in one hand, and the baggie in the other. And she says, "I've never done this before. Can you help me, Mom?"
Okay, so she looks to her and she nods and she holds her hands out.
Kate shakes her head and she says, "Whatever happened to the DARE program?"
um, for Garu, that doesn't really apply.
She shrugs, like, fair enough.
I think that the DARE program did more to dare people to do drugs rather than prevent them from doing it. So, whatever.
Kate will nod. She sort of frowns. She says, "I feel like that's something I would have known. Maybe. Maybe it's something I did know. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm learning something new tonight." And she sets about, like, watching Dazzles do this thing.
Yep. So, yeah, she'll fully get everything prepped and ready to go. She actually has like She pulls out this tray that she had slid underneath the side of the couch that has like remnants of like seeds and stems in it. Like this was a
Kate will
frequent thing.
just Kate will just take her head.
So yeah, she very expertly cleans and packs.
And Kate watches like she might need to know this for the future.
and yeah. So I think we can end the scene with the two of them getting absolutely blazed and watching Friends, and Sebastian will eventually join them with hot cocoa and snacks and
eventually they all pass out to the antics of Joey and Jesse and Monica and Phoebe, and I'm certain I'm forgetting one more.
Ross, Rachel.
Ross. Fucking Ross.
Yep. Yes. So, thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Good night.